The game of rugby league is definitely on the move. Peter V'landys is in Las Vegas looking to get the greatest game of all to the bright light city. We are in the middle of the Magic Round and we are just weeks away from the real Broadway act of rugby league, and that is, of course, State of Origin. Joining me live is New South Wales Rugby League Chief Executive Officer David Trodden. Trotto, let's start with State of Origin because I can almost feel it, and they are the three games that everyone is looking forward to.
Yeah, morning, Tim. What an exciting time of the year. As you said, Magic Round, trip to Vegas in contemplation, but Origin is our real focus, and that's only a few weeks away now, Tim. As you know, we announced our team on the 22nd of May. You'll be there at our function and part of that announcement, and it's only a matter of weeks away. And you know, it's part of the excitement of Origin and the fabric of Origin is all the speculation that goes with who'll be in the New South Wales team and who'll be in the Queensland team. And we're right in the middle of that period now, and everybody's pretty upbeat about it, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Well, let's have a look at these couple of games last night. Tommy Trbojevic, of course, has been a superstar for New South Wales. He still looks a little bit underdone, but these first two games of Magic Round, Canberra home in a real narrow one, and then Brisbane, well, they dominated, didn't they, over Manly?
Yeah, Canberra on a little bit of a run now, Tim. I think that's 4 in a row now, and some of those have been narrow victories, but I sense they're developing a bit of momentum, and that's good to see. It's good for the competition to see Canberra stringing a few wins together, and you know, this season is starting to look like, how do you stop Brisbane? You know, they've had such a great start to the year, and one of the leading lights, of course, for them is Payne Haas, who will play hopefully a really big role for New South Wales in the State of Origin series. It's hard to think of a better front rower in the world right at the moment with the form that Payne's in.
Yeah, we're looking at some of the colour of Magic Round. I'm looking at the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs started with so much promise, didn't they, this year? And look, we've seen flashes of it, but I think it's going to be a little while before we really see what they're trying to do flourish. They're sort of in 13th position at the moment, so it hasn't been a cracking start for them.
Yeah, they've had not much luck though, Tim. They've had quite a few injuries. Josh Addo-Carr is one of them. He's expected to come back shortly, we hope. But I think they've been pretty courageous with some of their performances as well. You know, they haven't been beaten by a lot, even last night. You know, they were right in that game up until the end. So I think there's good things in store for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Women's Rugby League, we've seen the expansion of Women's Rugby League at the NRLW level, and also the City Country game played during the week. It's just going from strength to strength.
Yeah, we broke another record during the week in New South Wales, Tim. We passed 24,000 women's players for the first time ever. We've got record participation, both in the men's, in the total of the men's game and the women's game. We passed the previous high watermark for participation in New South Wales. But that game on Thursday night, the City Country game for the women, it was really significant for us because our State of Origin captain, Kezia Apps, has had some injury difficulties during the course of the year so far, but she made a successful comeback on Thursday night, so that augurs well for our State of Origin campaign as well.
I know all my Adelaide friends are talking State of Origin. It's great to get the game around, isn't it? I know that some people are very much traditionalists and they just want the games played in Sydney and Brisbane, but you've got to mix it up to expand the game around the country because there is a national love of State of Origin.
Yeah, I think there's two things, Tim. I think there's that concept of spreading the game, as you say, but I think it also makes for a fairer series when you only have one game in Queensland and one game in New South Wales. You know, previously, if there are two games in New South Wales, it makes it pretty difficult for the Queenslanders to win and vice versa. So I think the concept of the third game somewhere else provides, you know, it meets the dual objectives of spreading the game around other capitals in Australia, but also balancing the fairness of the series up a bit as well, I think.
Times are tough at the moment. Of course, cost of living, we've seen 11 interest rate rises. It's good to see big organisations like Westpac getting behind. I can see it on your shirt. They're getting behind the sport of rugby league.
Yeah, so they're wonderful supporters of ours, and great to have you know, such an iconic brand associated with our brand. Of course, Westpac evolved out of the Bank of New South Wales. So there's a special association with our organisation. But their support of the game extends more broadly than just their partnership with us. They're partners of the NRL as well. They're really big supporters of our women's pathway, so they're great partners to have.
Yeah, the bosses of the NRL finally are in Vegas, Bright Light City. There's an opportunity that rugby league may start its year in Las Vegas.
How exciting! I mean, I think one of the challenges for professional sport, Tim, is that you constantly need to innovate. You're in the entertainment business, as people keep saying. You need to innovate. You need to find new markets, and this certainly does that. Every other major sport in the world, seeks out new markets, and we've spoken as a game about heading towards America for a little while now, and we're starting to put meat on those bones now. So that's a really exciting move. Maybe you can do weekend edition from Vegas in March next year, Tim.
You're an ideas man, like Steve from the Castle. I like that. I like that a lot. You get over there and watch a few shows as well. But and there's some good golf courses around Vegas. Dave, thanks so much for coming on, and we'll chat real soon.
Always a pleasure, Tim.